Hi students. I hope you were able to work on your compositions and essays and you found the suitable development that you are passionate about or interested in and you started writing your essays about them. So we're going to just revise what we took in the writing yesterday. We have the writing lesson was about our 2030 vision. And we discussed a lot of things in the lesson yesterday. We discussed the pillars, the themes, the basic words that would help us form the correct essay, depending on, of course, the development that you want to talk about. So we have here, the instructions were, first, to choose one development in the text which will have been completed by 2030. And after that, we have here to think about the impact this development will have on both your personal life and on society. Write your ideas in the organizer. So I showed you the organizer that we have, and as it is asked from you to have something that you have some kind of interest towards, so you can show how it has an impact on you before the society. Now I'm going to show you something here. Now this is my outline of the words that I used, so I did my homework with you. And if you can see here in the video, I was writing the words here and it was like I was talking to myself and discussing with myself how the impact was on me and what kind of development that I have in mind. What are the ideas that I want to share? I just wrote the words here. If you can see, it's a regular note, it's not much. And while I was writing the words, if you can just notice later on that I write something and then just go back and forth on it, there is no kind of organization because it's just kind of some notes for me, okay? So it's not something which is formal or someone to apply, to give or to read. So here, I'm just sharing it with you just to see how I did it. So these are the words that we have. We have nature, plants, relief, stress, energy, refresh, calming, motivation, green, symbol, nature, Saudi Arabia, tranquility, kind, help, caring, optimistic, new beginning, plants, and grow. So also, if you notice that most of the words that I used are very simple, basic words, they are everyday words that we can apply to. There is nothing which is a little bit difficult for you to understand and follow up. Okay, after that, this was the organizer that I have. Now what I did, that I took my words and the note that I have, and I applied it within the organizer here. If you can see that, I just distributed the words that we have here based on the ideas. So they're the same thing, the same words that I have, but I put them based on when am I going to use them and in which paragraph am I going to use them. After that, we have here, I wrote my complete outline here. If you can see that this is the complete thing, and it's not a perfect thing, but I have it handwritten at the beginning to show you that it is better to focus on your writing without using any kind of device. So we have here to write an essay presenting your ideas and give some examples. And then after that also, I used my checklist for evaluation, the spelling, the pronunciation, not pronunciation. So to check the punctuation, the structure of the sentences, and of course to make sure that I have my title here. Everything is within the same checklist that we have. Also, here is my complete essay that I wrote. Now I'm going to share it with you. You can see that after I made sure that everything is okay and everything is as I wanted, after that I started electronic writing. So it's best to start step by step. I'm going to read with you, first of all, the introduction, which is about the development. My title is A Green Vision. I am proud to write about a powerful topic which is the Saudi Vision 2030. There are a lot of developments that will have taken place by 2030. We see changes every day around us, and hopefully I can join the working teams and contribute in such important developments, especially the ones in Riyadh, which is where I live. I'm really interested in the project concerning planting and making Riyadh a greener city. After all, green is the color of our flag and the symbol of nature. So I introduced the basic thing that I'm talking about, my development that I chose, and then I'm now going to start with the other one, which is the impact that it had on me. Personally, I feel that living in a green environment refreshes by relieving stress and energizing me. That is something I would like to do for people as well. Everyone should live in a calm and caring society. After that is the third paragraph, which is about the impact on the society in general. When we think about a green area, it is an extensive view with grass, trees, and plants. And if you notice that I use the word extensive, so it's a good thing to also use the vocab that you have learned before. A view that boosts energy in a whole society. A wise person once said, "New beginnings are green." You can understand that if you think of a plant coming out of soil, a new leaf, or a branch growing from a dry tree. So green is associated with growth, new beginnings, and optimism. Good health is an important issue, which is always connected with a good environment. There is another thing also. When you write your essay, first of all handwritten, and then you start with the electronic writing, some ideas that haven't occurred before, you can add even after that. So one of the benefits that you have here is you can organize your ideas, and also with the organizing, you can apply new ones. You're still in the process of writing. At the end, we have here the two lines. This is my closure, or the conclusion that we have here. And remember that the book said 2 points. He said to keep, or it said to keep it personal. And the second thing, that you do not add ideas in the closing paragraph. So we have here, to serve our country and be better people living in one society, we need to feel nature around us to live in peace and tranquility. So this is my essay, and I hope that yours will become even better than this one. Okay. Now, just to revise some of the points that we did here, I wrote my essay concerning nature. I asked my friend to read my essay. She thought it was a good topic. And then, nature refreshes the environment. Working hard transforms visions to reality. Teams work hard to accomplish the best. So can you see here, we have 3 sentences. They are in the green color and other 3 sentences in the orange. So here, if you notice that there are no helping verbs, there's just one main verb here in the sentence. And of course, it shows the tense of the sentences. So you can see that we have here in the 3 first, the green ones, they are in the past simple. And we have here, these are in the present simple. So we have here the present and the past, but they do have something in common, which is that they all are in the simple tense, which is our main lesson for today. So we are going to go back to the past and present again. And we have here, this is going to be our lesson, which is form, meaning, and function. Yes, our objectives. Now, what did we do? We just deducted the tense forms in sentences. And you are next going to form yes, no, and WH questions in the present simple and the past simple tense. In addition, to differentiate between irregular verbs, and 4, to recall words connected to space. Yes, now we have here, these are the same three sentences that I just showed you. Now, of course, as we said that these are in the past sentences, we have here I wrote, I asked, she thought. Now, the difference between the three verbs here, two are irregular verbs and one is a regular verb. Which one is the regular? Of course, we have here asked. Why? Because we have here the ed. So put that in mind. Now, what is comfortable for you in this lesson, that it is a kind of revision. They are all parts that we have passed by before. So as I said before, there are no helping verbs. We can't see. We have here she thought it was a good topic. So here was is different because it's not before the basic verb here. So it is not related to the main verb immediately. Okay, we have here, this is going to be the first one. And as I told you before, you have to focus on two parts, which are the structure and the meaning of this, the form all at one. Okay, we have here after that the present. The present, we have here the three sentences that also passed by us. It's the same thing. We have here the main verb. We have here refreshes. Working hard transforms. Don't forget that working hard here, when it comes at the beginning of the sentence with an ing, it turns from the form of a verb into a form of the noun, a gerund. So we have here working hard is a noun, and then we have the verb transforms, and then we have here teams work hard to accomplish the best. So like the past, we have here two differences. Now you can see that two examples, they have the S in the verb. Why? Because we are talking about, or the basic subject is singular. And then the third one, teams, is plural. That's why there is no S added in the basic verb, which is accomplish. Okay. Now here, this might be familiar for you. This is actually the mapping that we took in Unit 1, okay? So we have here Unit 1 in the form, meaning, and function. We also had some kind of discussion between the present simple and the present progressive. Here, it's the same thing. We just want to go back and revise that does and do are used with the present simple, but not always. They have to be either in the question form or in the negative form. Yes. Now here, I want to make a yes-no question. So we're going to see the difference. First of all, we have here nature refreshes the environment. We just said that I want to use a helping verb in a question form, and I am here specifically asking for a yes-no question. So if you have this sentence here, nature refreshes the environment, what are we going to do? First of all, you are going to add the helping verb at the beginning of the sentence. Why? Because you are forming a yes-no question. Based on what? Based on the verb. So we have here refreshes. There is an ES here. We are going to add does based on the ES. And don't forget that before you have here a capital letter, I'm just going to turn the capital into small because it's not the beginning now. And also something very important, to just take out the ES because we have here does in the beginning, and then you are going to add your question mark. Does nature refresh the environment? Yes, it does. So we have here a short answer. The short answer here is based on the helping verb that you have and the subject. So we have here it because the subject is nature, and in other questions you can also answer no, it doesn't, based on the question. We have also the other one. Working hard transforms visions to reality. So it's the same thing because transforms, there is an S. We have here does. And we are going to turn the capital into small. Here, we're going to take out also the S and add the question mark. So does working hard transform visions to reality? Yes, it does. So I used it because working hard is a noun. And also I can use the short answer, no it doesn't, based on, as I said, the question. Yes, now we have here, teams work hard to accomplish the best. So we mentioned that teams is different here because it is plural. So instead of using does, because we have here teams is plural, and in other words, you can see that accomplish, which is the main verb, there is no S. So if you don't have an S and you have the subject is plural, instead of does, you are going to use do. You are going to turn also the capital into small. Of course, there is no S to take out, so I'm just going to add my question mark. And also, we have here the answer, yes, they do. Note that the plural form is here, they, and also with the helping verb. And in other questions, I can answer also, no, they don't. Here, the short answers are very important to apply. And a lot of students, they just get mixed up or they give a complete long answer. Actually, if it is a yes-no question, you just need the short answer form. You don't have to write everything. Okay, so this is the first thing. So from where did I start with do and does? As we revised before, we have it from the basic verb. Yes, now we're done with the yes-no question form. I want the other kind of form. Now you have more than one. You have the subject questions, and we have here the classic everyday usage of the WH questions, or we can say question words. So I want just to recall what are question words, and you already know them, which are our group. We have here how, why, when, where. We have here also which. So here, even how can be applied within the question words that we have here. And even some, yes, okay, so we have here where, who and why, when, what else do we have here? And what, yes. Okay, including how. I have one picture here. Make 3 WH questions about the picture. So I'm going to give you 1 minute just to look at the picture and try to make 3 main questions using a question word for this picture. You can ask about anything in the picture. Ask about anything in the picture. So just come up with 3 question words. Don't use just one. Okay, so I'm going to show you some examples, starting with, of course, note that these questions are all in the present simple. Where is the girl sitting? What is her name? What is she thinking about? Who is she waiting for? Who is she? Why is she alone? Which seat is she in? What time is it? When is she going home? Where does she live? Where does the sun set? When does the sun set? So all of these questions were from just one picture, and you can see that I asked about a lot of things. It doesn't have to be concerning just the girl or some particular thing in the picture. Note, as I said, that they are all in the present simple. Most of the questions here, we use them with verb to be. So the structure here is using, first of all, the question word and then the helping verb. The helping verb mostly is verb to be when you are asking about information in general. If you are asking about a verb or an action, you can use does, as we have here in the last 2 examples, or the 3 examples. So we have here, in the 3 examples, we are asking about a verb. But the rest, if you're asking about information, you have is or are or am if you have another subject. Yes, like here. Now, I just said that you can use is, are, or am. So here in the brackets, you decide which verb to be you are going to use, and then we will make a question. So we have here, I be at school. We have here, I am at school. And if you are going to answer, I am at school, what do you think the question is? Someone is asking you. The question is, where are you? I am at school. I be interested in stars. It's the same thing here. We have here, I am interested in stars. But someone is asking you about your interest. Stars here, what is it? So we're going to ask the question, what, based on the stars, are you interested in? The sun be a star. I want the verb to be here. So the sun, one sun, is a star. And the question, I'm asking about the sun here. What is the sun? Galaxies be large group of stars. So we have here are, okay, so we have here a large group of stars. The question is going to be, what are galaxies? And the last one, we are not able to see other galaxies. I'm going to make a question, what are we not able to see? Now something very small that you already know, but just to remind you that in the basic sentence, you write first of all the subject and then the helping verb. But in the question, you have first of all the question word, then the helping verb, and then the subject. So there's a kind of switch in the sentence. Okay, we're done with the present simple. So the present simple, we said that we have here 3 helping verbs that we mentioned, or actually there are 4, but you can just say 2 in general. We have here either to use the auxiliary form, which is do, does, or you can use verb to be, which is am, is, and are. This is within the present simple. After that, we have here the past simple. The past simple is very connected with the present simple. So if you know the past tenses or the past forms of the helping verbs that I mentioned, you're okay. We have here, we're going to make questions in the simple past. Now here, for example, the simple past of the verb be and be born. Now here specifically in the book they mentioned these questions. We have here, where were you born? And we have here, I was born in Oman, for example. Where was he born? He was born in Kuwait. So note here that we have 2 basic verb to be forms in the past, which are either was or were. You can use them in the past depending on which subject you have. Is it singular or plural? Yes. Now here, first, note that in yes/no questions in the past, you can use the same form that I used before with the present simple, but instead of using is or are or am, you're going to use either was or were. And instead of using do or does, you have just one form in the past, which is did. But if you are making a WH question, okay, you are going to use a question word, and you are asking, of course, of information. So either you have singular or plural, you just have one helping verb, which is did. So did here is based on the past tense of the verb. So we have here the word, as we said, did. Here, you have to focus mostly in simple past questions about using regular verbs and irregular verbs. So we all know that regular verbs, you are going to add ed to them. The irregular verbs are the forms that we have here. Now you can see that here we have different groups. The groups depend on the changing form of the irregular verbs that you have. Now you can just search for them anywhere, but I advise you to look for the detailed kind of lists, because you can see that they are here grouped formed. They're not just complete lists together. So we have here something that you can just go back and revise. Okay, now I want to do these with you. We have, you can just take a look at these sentences before I start. So you have here, the police caught the robber hiding in a garage. And we have here, I went to a cinema last night. So just take a look at these sentences, and you can see here how you can form the sentences. Okay? So let's start here. The police caught the robber hiding in a garage. I'm going to ask about the robber. The past form is caught. And as I said, you're going to use either. There's no either. You just have one choice here. So there's no verb to be here. You are going to use just the helping verb did. So I'm asking about a person here. I'm going to begin with who did, then the subject, the police. Caught is going to turn into the present form. Why? Because I have did in my sentence. So we have here catch. And you're going to complete the sentence hiding in a garage and question mark. The second one, I went to a cinema last night. So cinema here is a place. So I'm going to begin the question with where. Also, helping verb, did. And the pronoun I turns into you. Went here goes into go. So you turn it into go. And then we have here go to last night. Question mark. So we have here, these are two examples. Now orally, I'm going to give you the other two examples, or three examples. Ahmed and Ali flew to Jeddah. They're the same thing. I'm asking about Jeddah. So where did Ahmed and Ali fly to? I gave my mother a gift. I'm asking about my mother. Who did you give a gift to? Ali paid a fine for the accident. So a fine here is amount of money. What did Ali pay for the accident? Okay. Yes. No, these are actually the same examples that I gave you before. So before I move on, you have an assignment. Your assignment is to write a complete outline for using the helping verbs with the past and the present simple. You're going to do a kind of mapping. It depends on what you would like, but you have to show what to use with the question words and what to use with the yes/no questions. Okay, so we have here, this is something that you are going to do as an assignment, and tomorrow, inshallah, we will revise together. Now moving on, we have just a small part here. It is totally different than making questions. We have here, these are the examples, and they are associated with a topic that we actually discussed. Now, when we said that there is a kind of tourism, it can be in outer space. Space is actually a very interesting topic. Now, there are a lot of words that are, yes, there are words that are connected with space, and we have here planetary system. Now we're going to see the words that we have. Some words we associate with space and the planetary system are technology. In space, yes, we can use the word technology. Solar system, gas, rocks, orbit, space station, gravity, the moon, volcanoes, yes, there are volcanoes in the space, launch, the rocket, when we say that it launches, spacecraft, a kind of rocket, stars, the sun, poisonous air, land. We have also, we said gas here, and the sun. We have mirrors. We have also, let's say, high mountains, yes. We have orbit. Take photos. Rocks. Eclipse. The planets. Atmosphere. And build. So these words that we have here, they are all associated with space. They are very easy. You can apply them in your sentences. So here we have the basic assignment that you have is to just do the mapping that we have. You are also going to do the exercise in the book, which is associated with the words here that we have. You can use them also as examples and sentences, as I do always. So at the end, we have here, these are some examples that you have in the book, just to read and take an idea about. We have here, we use the present simple in questions and sentences. We use the past simple in questions and sentences. And we used words connected to space in sentences, which were the actual examples that I gave you and we made questions from. So until the next lesson, inshallah, do your assignments and try as much as you can to practice the words that we have and just think about the space.